Today we will learn Fibonacci series. So our statement is that create a program to print Fibonacci series till a length provided by user. Like 10, so if I enter 10, so you can see here I am getting the Fibonacci series of 10. So first we have to understand what is actually Fibonacci series and how it will be look like. So if you check this series, so here you can see that first 0, then 1, then again 1, then 2, then 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, something like that. So if you try to find out the clue, so you can see first one is 0, then 1, then the summations of these two is basically the third one. So 0 plus 1 basically 1. Now summation of again these two, 1 plus 1, that is basically the next one, that is 2. Now summations of 1 plus 2, that is basically 3. Now 2 plus 3, that is basically 5, and so on. So this is our actual Fibonacci series where the first two number summations is basically the next number. So 1 plus 1, 2. Similarly 8 plus 13, then the next number is 21. So the length of this series will be provided by user, and you have to create a program so that based on that length selections it will give you a series of Fibonacci. Now let's check the flow concept of this Fibonacci series. So this is basically a flow of Fibonacci series. Okay, and we will try to check this flow or understand this flow with some values. Now this is my Excel, and you can see here that my start program here, then user will put some input in n variable. So I have set n is 5. Let's say user put a value n that is equal to 5. Now I will print my Fibonacci series in this line, and there is some variable we have to set first. So my first variable a is basically set to 1, then b is set to 0, then another variable c I have set here, and my loop start with I is equal to 1, that's why I set as 1. Now as it's loop we have to create, and we know that the exact count of n, so we will create for loop here. Now our loop start here, and we will check I, that is basically 1 less than equal to n, that is basically 5. So 1 less than equal to 5, yes. So that's mean my first iteration start here, and then if it's a yes, then it will first print b value. So what is b value? B value previously set as 0, so that will be print here. Now then c is equal to a. So what is c? C is basically then set by a value. So what is the previous value a of a? That is 1. So c will be set by 1. Then a is equal to b. Now a will be set with b value. So now what is the value of a then? That is basically 0. Now b is equal to a plus c. So now b is equal to a plus c. So what is a value? A value we set as 0 and c value we set as 1. So what is a plus c? A plus c, that is basically 0 plus 1, that is nothing but 1. Now my b value is set as 1, and then it will increment I value I plus plus, that is now I is equal to 2. Now it will go again for the next iterations, and it will check is I less than equal to n. So what is I value now? I value now is 2. Is 2 less than equal to n? N is 5. Is 2 less than 5? Yes. So that's mean my second iteration start here. Now in second iteration it will print b value. So what is b value we set? So you can see here the b value is set as 1. So we will print b value as 1. Now we have to set c is equal to a. So currently c is basically 1, and we have to set with value a. So what is the a value? A value is equal to 0 set previously. So now c is equal to a, that's mean we have to set c value, or the c value will be set as 0, that is basically previous a value. Now a is equal to b. So what is b value? So previously you can see b value is 1. Now this one will be set under a. Now a is equal to b, that's mean a is equal to this one. So we can set in second iteration a is equal to 1. Now b is equal to a plus c. So now b is equal to a means 1 and c means 0. So 1 plus 0, that is nothing but 1. Now again I will be incremented by 1. So previously it was 2, then now it's 3. So I value is set as 3. Then this 3 again go here and check is 3 less than equal to 5 because n is 5. So is 3 less than equal to 5? Yes, so that's mean my third iteration will start here, and here we have to print b value. So if you check here, now our v value is set as 1, so that one will be print here. Then coming to the next one, c is equal to a. So what is the previous a value? So you can see a value was set as 1, so that will be set under c. So now c is basically 1. Okay, now coming to the next, a is equal to b. So what is a? This is basically a, and what is the previous value of b? B is equal to again 1. So now a will be set with b value, that is equal to 1. Now a we will set with b value, that is nothing but this 1. So let's set a value is equal to 1. Now coming to b, b is equal to a plus c. So what is a now? A is 1. What is c now? C is equal to 1. So 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. That is basically a plus c. So 1 plus 1, a plus c. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. Now b value will be set as 2, and again it will increment I value by 1. So previously it was 3, now it is 4. So if you check here, my I value is set as 4, and it will go again here and it will check 4 less than equal to 5 because n is 5. So yes, 4 less than equal to 5. So that's mean my fourth iteration start with these conditions, and it will then again go to the series print, that is basically print of b. So what is my b? Like my last time b is basically 2, so that will be printed here, that is basically print b. Now coming to this one, c is equal to a. So c is equal to a. So if we have to set c value, that is nothing but last a value, and in last iteration, that is basically third iteration, we set a value is equal to 1. So if a value is 1, so that's mean c value is equal to c is equal to a, that means c will be set as 1. Now coming to the next, a is equal to b. So here we have to set a value, and what will be the a value? That it will be the previous b value. So what is the previous b value? That is basically 2. So a value will be set with b value, that is basically written here a is equal to b. So now a is equal to this 2. So a is now 2 in fourth iterations. Now b is equal to a plus c. So what is a? A is 2. What is c? C is 1. So now b is equal to a plus c. A plus c, that's mean b is equal to 2 plus 1, that is nothing but 3, and again I will be incremented by 1. So now I is 5. Now once I is 5, so it will again go and check I less than equal to n, that's mean 5 less than equal to 5. 5 less than 5 not, but 5 equal to 5, that's mean it is again yes. So it will again print b. So my fifth iterations start and it will print b. And what is b value? Let's check. B is nothing but 3. If you check here, last iteration, that is fourth iteration, we said b is equal to 3, so that's mean this 3 will become here. Now coming to c, c is equal to a. So what is the previous a value? A is basically 2, so that will be set under c. Now my c is 2. Now coming to a is equal to b. So what is a? Now in fifth iteration, a will be set as previous b value. So previous b value is 3. Now coming to the next line, that is basically b is equal to a plus c. So here b is equal to a, that is basically set as 3, and c, that is basically set as 2. So that's mean now b is equal to a plus c, that is basically 5. Now coming to the increment of I, it will again increment by 1. So 5 will be increment by 6. So now my I value is 6. I is 6. It will go here and check 6 less than equal to n, that is 5. 6 less than equal to 5, no. So that mean it will exit from this loop and stop the program. But now if we check the print b, that is nothing but this thing. So that is basically our Fibonacci series. If you check here, 0 then 1, now 0 plus 1 is again 1, now 1 plus 1 is 2, 1 plus 2 is 3. Similar way, if we put another number, let's say 10 or 11 or 100 or anything, so it will iterate again and again, and it will execute based on these conditions, and it will execute the Fibonacci series. So if you understand this one, then you are ready to create a program that is a few liner, but you have to understand this logic. If you not understand, again go back and check this value count for this series. Now let's go to the Eclipse and create the same logic in Eclipse and create a program so that we can again check for this 5 iteration it is coming properly or not. Now I have already opened my Eclipse IDE, and I have also created a Fibonacci series class, and that is under com.demo.series package, and this is my main method. Now based on this flowchart, let's create the program. So you can see here, first we have to create some variable, and few variable will be initialized with some values. So our first variable is n, then a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, c, and finally when we create a loop, so we have to create a I variable. So let's create nabc, this variable in Eclipse. Now let's create some integer variable like int n, then a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, and c as for this flow, a is equal to 1, b is equal to 0, then c. Okay, now we have to take the input from user, and that need to be put in a n variable. So definitely first we have to give a print statement, and that will be collected under n variable using some scanner class. So let's do that in Eclipse. Create a system.out.println statement and put something, enter the length of the Fibonacci series. Let me double click here so that you can get a wider view. So I have created a system.out.println statement where I given a message, enter the length of the Fibonacci series. So user will input some value here, and that need to be collected under n variable. So enter, then we have to collect under n variable, and we will use scanner class help here. So first we have to instantiate the scanner class, right? So create an instance of scanner class like this one, and use Control Shift O, that will automatically import the java.util package. Now you can see my scanner class instance is ready. Now use sc, so n is equal to sc dot, as it's a int, so we have to use next int method here. Now save the file using Ctrl S. Now if you go back again to this flowchart, you can see my input variable n and taking input is ready. A is equal to 1 is ready, b is equal to 0 is ready, c is also ready. Now we have to create a for loop where I will be start with 1 and condition I less than equal to n. So let's create a for loop first. Now here I have to create a for loop for int I is equal to 1, I less than equal to n, and I plus plus. My loop start here and end here, and under that we have to do our logic that is written here. But before that we have to mention another best fact is that I already mentioned, that once your scanner class work is done, just close it using sc, that is instance dot close method. Now my for loop start here. Now go to the flowchart again, and first we have to print b. We will do the same thing because we already understand using some value for this flow, right? So we will just execute the same step. So first we have to print b. So create a print statement, system.out.println. It will not be a println, it will print, because we have to print the series in a single line. So you can see this is a single line, right? So let's create print instead of println, and what we have to print, we have to print b. So put the b here, and again we know we have to give some space between two numbers, so we can concat that one using plus sign, and then under a double quote use, let's say, single space or double space, then save it using Ctrl S. Now my print statement is done. Now we have to create c is equal to a. So create here c is equal to a, c is equal to a. Then what is our next step? Next step is a is equal to b. So create a is equal to b. So that is basically a is equal to b. Now what is my third step? My third step is b is equal to a plus c. So create b is equal to a plus c. B is equal to a plus c. Okay, and what is my next step? So if you check, I is equal to I plus 1. So as we are using for loop, we already maintain I plus plus. So my actual logic under for loop is ready, and now save this file using Ctrl S and double click here. Now it's time to execute this program so that we can get the exact result that we collect under this iteration check. Okay, so we will give a value 5, then we will check 0 1 1 2 3 it is coming or not. So let's run this program by click on this. Before run, always save this program using Ctrl S. Now enter the length of the Fibonacci series. So what is the length we provided? That is basically 5. So put the same thing 5 here and then enter. So if you enter here, so you can see I am getting 0 1 1 2 3 0 1 1 2 3, the same Fibonacci series. Now if we do it with some getter value, let's run it again and enter some value like 10. So if I enter 10, so you can see here I am getting the Fibonacci series of 10 time, and here you can see 2 plus 3 is equal to 5 again 3 plus 5 is 8, 5 plus 8 is 13, 8 plus 13 is 21, and similarly it's going on. So any value you can put here, it will automatically print the Fibonacci series. So there, this is the actual logic to create your Fibonacci series, and you can get the idea from this flowchart. So hope you can understand this one and try to do it from your side, and that will be then more clear from your side. You can get a better idea based on this flowchart as well as based on this Eclipse programming.
I believe this video has helped you to understand about the topic. Thank you for watching. Please do subscribe, click on the bell notifications and select all so that you don't miss any video from this channel.